You're watching this special presentation on India today. We're just minutes away from that all-crucial toss in the India versus Pakistan encounter. And the toss is going to be very, very crucial because as we've seen in all the pitches across the UAE, that chasing really helps. Whether India would be chasing or not, as I said, we'll know in a few seconds from now. But we're still joined by our three experts in Harbhajan Singh, Sunil Gavaskar, Wasim Akram. Harbhajan, I'll come to you on this one. We've spoken enough about the big stars. That's Babar Azam for Pakistan. You've got Virat Kohli for India. Well, let's talk about a man who's been a bit under the radar. He's been in outstanding form in the IPL. That's Rahul. And would you agree that when he plays for India, he plays in a completely different style to what we see him playing in the IPL for Kings 11?
Well, Rahul, he's a class player. You know, if we talk about his batting ability, he's probably, you know, at par as Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma. You know, when it comes to purely batting form, you know, he's one guy who can take the game away from the opposition, no matter, you know, what sort of wicket he plays on, whether it's a slow seaming or whatsoever. Once he gets going, he just bat like, you know, champion. So yeah, you know, it would be great to see him, you know, rubbing the shoulder with them and performing like a champion. What he does for Kings 11. Yes, he does play little bit here with more freedom when he plays for India, just because he knows that people around him can take the control of the situation, and he has got more freedom to play his shots. And when he plays his shots, he probably looks the best.
Rahul, there we heard from Harbhajan Singh saying that he would put Rahul at the moment alongside Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli. There's merit in that argument.
Absolutely. In fact, you know, a lot of people you speak to, a lot of cricketers, experts you speak to, they would say perhaps Rahul is the biggest match winner in this batting lineup.
That's saying a lot in a team that has Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli.
Exactly. And Bhaju rightly pointed out, you know, he has that insurance, which Rahul at the end of this IPL season himself admitted that perhaps the management wasn't giving him that kind of freedom. Well, we are actually expecting Rahul to do something of sorts that he did with the Punjab Kings, but hopefully with a better strike rate.
What happens in the toss? That's very, very crucial. We've got the two captains already waiting for that coin to go up in the air. But let's talk about that toss factor. Rahul, we've seen it. Though last time the interesting bit is because everyone's talking about the dew, and we've seen dew during the IPL. But the good thing is that the last few matches that we've seen in Dubai, dew wasn't that big a factor. That'll be relief for a team that's going to be bowling second.
That'll be a relief for the team bowling second. But Nikhil, I honestly feel that will be a huge factor, despite the fact that you have, you know, that spray that can reduce the dew, but still it will be a huge factor. But batting first, runs on the board, especially if you have somewhere around 150, 160, 170 in Dubai, it's a big match, and pressure will be on the team that would be chasing, but still teams would prefer to chase.
Okay, here's the latest update now. Pakistan have won the toss and have decided to field. So no surprise, they will be chasing. Rahul, you know, this was again expected. It was a no-brainer, would you say? Whichever team won the toss, they were going to be chasing.
Well, actually, you know, of course, it's a T20 game. The advantage was with India, but with this, now that Pakistan has won the toss and has decided to field first, the advantage that India had, I would say, used a bit. We also have Sunny Bhai with us. You can ask him, you know, what's his take now that Pakistan is chasing. They might have won a very important toss here, Nikhil.
Okay, if we've still got Sunny Bhai's line with us, let's try and get his reaction on, you know, as Rahul points out that maybe before this game started, most people had picked India to win this. They were, of course, the far more superior team when you were comparing man to man. But now that Pakistan has won the toss and now they will be chasing, which is going to be a huge factor, does that even things out?
To an extent, it does, because what it does is it puts a little more pressure on the Indian batting, because when you're batting first, you don't know what is going to be a good defendable score. So in trying to get to a score which you might think is, say, 180 is what you are looking at, you might actually lose wickets in the first 6 overs, which means you'll have to play a little bit watchfully and try and get the team to maybe 130, 140. So yes, it is perhaps just a little bit of a disadvantage. Also because of the fact that India do not always defend totals well. They chase brilliantly, but don't always defend totals well. So yes, you could say that by batting first, India have got a little more pressure on them now.
Okay, things have evened out, as Sunny Gavaskar points out there, because Pakistan, as a reminder for those of you who may have missed that Pakistan would be chasing, which has become a major factor we've seen in games being played in the Middle East. Rahul, I'm also getting an update on the Pakistan team because they announced their team slightly before the Indian team. Now, before we get the Indian team to our viewers, the one thing that Pakistan has done, because they had named their 12, Haider Ali has been left out. This was expected, and they've gone with Asif Ali.
With a more experienced Asif Ali, and of course, he can bowl those gentle medium pace as well. So, of course, they have the variety. They won the toss. They've elected to field first. They had announced their 12. At times, it's also a statement, Nikhil. I don't know if you would, agree with this, but at times, a day before the match, when you announce your 12, when you announce your 11, it's a kind of message. It's a kind of a statement that you want to put out that we are confident.
Okay.
But not necessarily, it can backfire also. Pakistan would understand that, batting maybe at this point in time, batting would be their strength. They are backing their openers to do well and allow their bowlers to have a go at the Indians, because when you're batting first, there would be some butterflies, if I may say so, in the Indian batters, but we'll have to see.
Okay, right now in update that's just coming in, here's the Indian team for you. Quickly telling you the 4 players that have been left out. That is Ravichandran Ashwin is not playing this game. Rahul Chahar is not playing this game. Shardul Thakur is not playing this game. And Ishan Kishan is not playing this game. So they've gone with, first things first, Bhuvneshwar Kumar is that fast bowler that they've gone with. It's not Shardul Thakur. Who are your 2 spinners? We know that now. The 2 spinners that they've gone in with is Varun Chakravarti, the man that everyone was saying is going to be the crucial man, the X factor that everyone was talking about. So he's going to be that one spinner. And the other one that they were talking about, of course, was a no-brainer there, Ravindra Jadeja, because of everything that he brings on to the table. As far as batting is concerned, he's an outstanding fielder. Okay, Rahul, quickly with your reactions, how were you expecting this?
Bhuvneshwar Kumar, they've gone in with Bhuvneshwar Kumar, not somebody like Shardul Thakur who could have batted, who could have given them a few runs. They've gone in with experience. So this Indian team might look that, Hardik Pandya is not bowling these days, but you never know. Virat yesterday said that, you can expect a couple of overs if need be. And it looks a solid batting lineup. It looks a solid bowling lineup. But the only issue that India might have is that they don't have a cushion of an extra sixth bowler, but good for them. They don't have a cushion of an extra sixth bowler, but good for them that they've gone in with the experience of Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Of course, Jasprit Bumrah, you get him to bowl at any stage of the game, whether it is the death bowling up front or anything. He can do wonders for you against the best in the business. And Mohammad Shami against Pakistan 2015, if you would remember, 2015 World Cup, he did well. Bhuvneshwar Kumar comes in with a lot of experience. Of course, he didn't have the kind of IPL that a lot would expected from him. But then perhaps in the last warm-up game, he may have got his mojo back, and they've gone in with him. Varun Chakravarti, that would be the interesting part here.
Okay, we've got the Indian team, just running you through the Indian team that you've got at the moment. You've got the 2 openers in KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma. Then you have Virat Kohli, who comes in at number 3. And then you'll have, Surya Kumar Yadav at 4, Rishabh Pant at 5. Hardik Pandya is going to come your way as number 6. Ravindra Jadeja then becomes your number 7. And then I'm going to get into the bowlers. You're going to have Bhuvneshwar Kumar. The other 2 fast bowlers are going to be Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Shami. And the 2 spinners that are playing, as I said, one was of course Ravindra Jadeja, the other they've gone in is with Varun Chakravarti. You were talking about 5 bowlers, and I wonder, Rahul, now why, I'm just looking at the thought process, why India would have gone with a Bhuvneshwar. One, of course, as you mentioned, is his experience when it comes to bowling. The other could be, which we heard from Sunny when we were building up to this particular encounter yesterday, where he said he's seen Hardik Pandya bowl in the nets. He reckons that if need be, he's going to be bowling when the match starts as well, and if the captain really requires him. Could that have been a factor where you've picked Bhuvneshwar now and you really then didn't need that cushion of Shardul?
Certainly, because going by what Virat also mentioned yesterday, that he said that at some stage of this tournament, you might see Hardik Pandya bowling a few overs, but not more than a couple of overs, not more than 2 overs. So maybe he would provide that cushion of an extra sixth bowler there. But the batting virtually stops at Ravindra Jadeja. Now okay, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, we know he can bat, but in T20s, he may not be a force to reckon with as far as batting is concerned. Pakistan have a batting that can have a lineup that can bat perhaps right till Shadab. So India, of course, they've gone in with a safer side, I would say. It's a safer side. You could have actually picked Ishan Kishan, a left-hander, just to give your batting a better left-right combination, but they went with Surya Kumar Yadav. It was expected. A lot of people expected Shardul to come in place of Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Yeah. They've again gone in with a safer Bhuvneshwar Kumar, tried and tested player. So I would say it's a good, solid combination. But India have chosen to be safe rather than taking doing a lot of experiments.
Probably it's also the occasion. It's India versus Pakistan, exactly. and you know the kind of criticism that might come your way if the team doesn't perform really well. So it's best to take the safe option, go in with more experienced players, as Rahul was pointing out. But we still got Sunny Bhai with us. Sunny Bhai, you know, one thing that we were talking about, who are going to be the two spinners, now that puzzle has been solved. You of course were going to have Ravindra Jadeja. The other one has been Varun Chakravarti. Much has been spoken about him as being the X factor. Your thoughts on him being in the 11?
Yes, he actually bowled well in the semi-finals and even the finals. Finals, I think he got taken for a few runs of the IPL. But yes, I think he would have learned from that. He would have learned that he cannot bowl 4 overs for under 30 runs like he did for most of the IPL. But the fact that he did bowl that will give him the confidence that if he brings that length to the length that he bowled in those 4 overs earlier on, when he was giving about 28 runs in those 4 overs, then he'll have done a fabulous job for India. The mystery aspect of it apart, I think it's his very good lines and very good lengths that make the difference. He gets the ball to turn just a little bit, and that's exactly what you want. You don't want big spin, big turn. You want just that little bit of turn, that 4.5 inches turn, which is the width of the bat, and that's exactly what he does, and that is why he is going to be one of the key factors in today's game.
Rahul, we heard from Sunny Bhai there talking about that mystery aspect of Varun Chakravarti. We had Wasim Akram with us and he was talking that I hope India doesn't play Varun Chakravarti. So he's already playing on the minds of the Pakistan team with the kind of performances he's had leading up to this tournament.
True. And, all the excitement, interest around Varun Chakravarti, finally India is going to unleash this mystery factor that India has been developing, or rather they found it or discovered through IPL. Varun Chakravarti, an architect. Let's see if he can be the architect of India's victory here in Dubai. And also, he can be a little dangerous also. Of course, we understand that it's difficult for the spinners to grip the ball when there's a lot of dew, but the kind of action or the kind of grip that he has on the ball, he could be pretty dangerous as well. Under, if there's dew, the ball might just skid and just crash onto these stumps, or he can get a few leg befores as well.
All right, we'll have to leave it at that. We're running completely out of time, but there's a big battle, big game coming your way. It promises to be a super Sunday. Rahul, thanks so much for being my co-pilot during this show, and all our 3 experts who joined us on the program, in Sunny Gavaskar, Harbhajan Singh and Wasim Akram also, who was with us earlier in the program. The quick update here is that Pakistan had won the toss and they will be chasing, which becomes a crucial factor. Our experts had mentioned that now this evens things out, and that's what fans want, a close contest. It is a big marquee clash, yes, but you want to see a good game of cricket. Hoping that's the case, we'll keep seeing you during the mid-innings as well as at the end of play. You're watching this special presentation on India Today.